Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So in the previous video we discussed regarding delete and void, and now we know what you mean by delete and void. When you click on the delete, so transaction will be deleted permanently. If you click on the void, transaction is available but effect is 0. Next, after that, there's the next section, create a copy. The purpose of create a copy is like we can say copy paste. Copy paste means if you click on this one, this transaction will be saved. Let us say this is the bill number 127. If you click on this one, the transaction will be saved. Again, the window will be open with the same sort of information. Only you need to enter the next bill number or reference number. This is especially used if you receive the same sort of bill from the same vendor, but just the amount might be different, or just for example the reference number might be different. If you receive the same number of bill, the same sort of the bill from the same vendor, so this one will help you to reduce the time to enter again the name of the supplier, the address, and several other sort of information. The next one is memorize. What is the purpose of memorize? See, a certain sort of information is given here. If you create the same transaction on a regular basis, use memorize to save it as a template for the future use. Memorize basically is used for the purpose of those transactions which we receive, for the purpose of those bills which we receive it regularly. For example, at the end of each month we receive a bill because of rent, property rent. Or at the end of each month we receive a bill from the bank because of interest. Or we receive a bill because of internet. We receive a bill, for example, from insurance company, right? So if you receive a bill regularly from a particular supplier or from a particular vendor, on that case, you can just memorize, you can just make one of the bill and just memorize it for the next month. It means in the next month, no need again to enter the name of the vendor, all sort of information. Just create it once and memorize it. For the next month, it will be used as a template, right? So now let us do it. Let us say, for example, in this transaction, we receive rent expenses. So we have to make a payment because of rent, and let us say the amount of rent is amount of 10,000, right? And we are paying for whom? For B. So at the end of each month, we are paying the same thing. So if you are paying the same thing, so no need to create it repeatedly, just click on the memorize. When you click on the memorize, so they ask the few points. Point number 1, add to reminder list. If you click on this one, if you just click on the memorize, or sorry, to click to add my reminder list, it will be added to your reminder list. What is the purpose of reminder list? When you open the QuickBooks, the reminder will be open and they will ask you that please enter a bill because of these things. So it just gave you a reminder, right? So please enter a bill because of ABC company. Please enter a bill because of rent. Please enter a bill because of that one, right? So QuickBooks just asks that whether you want to add to your reminder list or not. If let us say we give the QuickBooks this option to please add to my reminder list, then the QuickBooks asks you how often. So after how long the QuickBooks should enter a bill, or after how long the QuickBooks should give you a reminder. So let us say the rent is on monthly basis, so after each month or on monthly basis, the QuickBooks should give me a reminder that please enter a bill, right? So when month's over, at the end of the month, QuickBooks gives you a reminder that please enter a bill because of this one. So this one. What should be the next date? Let us say today we have entered a bill. What should be the next? The next should be, for example, at the end of this month. So these are two options. If you click on do not remind me, so the QuickBooks will not remind you, right? But if you click on the automate transaction entry, so it means you give the authority for the QuickBooks and you give the responsibility for the QuickBooks that the QuickBooks should enter a bill at the end of the month, even without reminding me. Please do not remind me. At the end of the month, automatically enter a bill because of rent. For what vendor? For which vendor? For ABC company. So again, the QuickBooks asks this one, how often? Let us say on monthly basis. What should be the next? Let us say the next month at the end of the month. Number remaining. Number remaining means how many bill QuickBooks should enter in the system. Let us say this is the rent of the month. Now this is the month of, for example, May, right? At the end of the May, also the QuickBook will enter this one. So if May is included, so May is the 5th month of the year, right? Remaining is, for example, 7. Enter a bill for the June, July, August, September, up to December, right? This in advance to enter. How many days before end of the month the QuickBooks should enter the bill into the system? Let us say just 2 days before end of the month the QuickBooks should enter a bill into the system, right? So I have given the authority for the QuickBook on monthly basis. They should enter a bill for me. What should be the next bill? How many bills are remaining? If you don't give any bill, any number here, right? In that case, the QuickBook will not understand that how many bills they should enter in the system, or they will enter unlimited bill. At the end of each month, they will enter. But if you specify only 7 bills to be entered, then the QuickBook will enter automatically 7 bill into the system. After that, it will stop the entering the bill, right? So in this way, you can memorize the transaction. This one, so it gave you a sound. When it gave you a sound, it means the bill is entered into the. Then in this way, you have memorized the transaction. If someone asks you how can you find out the memorized transaction, later on you can find out under the list. When you come under the list, you can find out memorized transaction, right? Click on memorized transaction. I have memorized one of the transaction for ABC, right? So if you double click, sorry, continue to edit. If you double click on the list, okay, go in the list, click on menu, right? Right click on this one, just mention edit this one. So this was the information which I have created. So instead of 2, let us make it 1, right? And again save it, right? And you can close it back. So this was the purpose of what? Memorize transaction. The next one is print. What is a print? So you can print this bill itself. If you are attached with the connected with the printer, so you can print this bill. And the next one is regarding attach file. Attach file means you can attach some file with this bill itself. If you click on this one, so the QuickBook will provide you, will ask you that from where you can enter the bill. You can enter you can attach the file from your computer or from a scanner or from the doc center. Doc center means the documents which are available inside the QuickBook itself. Let us say we want to enter this bill from this section itself, and we want to enter the picture of this ABC company, for example. Let us say this is the picture of ABC, right? You can open. So now there's an attachment with this one as well. If there's attachment, it will show you that one attachment is available there. If you make 2 attachments, it will show you 2, 3, and so on. Select purchase order. Purchase order is not discussed yet. Enter bill is not discussed. Enter bill will be discussed in this section itself. Under the customer section, enter bill. So we will discuss enter bill later on. But for the time being, I will tell you the purpose of enter bill itself. If you want to enter bill because of some time itself, sometime your vendor may provide you service on hourly basis. So if they provide you service on hourly basis, so you have to pay a bill for that one as well. We will discuss it later on. Clear split, and again do the same thing. Calculation, we have done it. Pay the bill will be discussed after the explaining the bill, right? So this was the purpose of this menu itself. Next one, click on the report. Let us explain the report in the next video.